Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us bring you more powerful stories like this one. Northern Iraq, 1985. A scorching sun burns over the village of Kardana, a place that has seen more blood than harvest. Soldiers march through narrow streets, their rifles raised not against enemies but against unarmed families. Smoke rises from homes, children cry, and the air smells of death. In the middle of this chaos stands Douglas Matthews, an American soldier assigned to assist. But what he witnesses is no mission of peace. A commander orders executions of villagers accused of collaboration. Innocent men and women are dragged from their homes, lined up and shot without hesitation. Douglas steps forward furious. "This is not justice, these are civilians," he shouts. The commander glares, his voice sharp as steel. "One more word, Douglas, and I'll have you arrested for insubordination." But Douglas cannot stay silent. He clenches his fists, knowing that by speaking up, he has declared war not only on injustice, but on the very men beside him. This moment plants a seed of vengeance, of defiance, of a destiny that will return to haunt him 5 years later. Baghdad International Airport. The summer heat presses down like a furnace as hundreds of foreigners wait nervously to board flights out of Iraq. Families cling to one another, passports in hand, desperate for freedom. Among them is Ben Matthews, a quiet professor, husband and father. His wife holds his arm tightly, whispering that they are almost safe, just one flight away from home. His daughter smiles, unaware of the storm about to break. Suddenly, soldiers in dark uniforms move through the crowd. Their eyes scan faces like predators hunting prey. Then, they stop. One points at Ben. "You, American, step out of the line." Confused, Ben raises his passport. "I'm a US citizen. My papers are in order. There must be some mistake." But there is no mistake. Hands grab his arms, wrenching him away from his family. His wife screams, clutching at the soldiers, begging them not to take him. The airport erupts into chaos. Cameras flash. Journalists shout. But the soldiers drag Ben into the shadows. His wife cries out, "Please! He needs his medicine. He's diabetic. He will die without it." Her voice echoes, but no one listens. The sound of her desperation fades under the boots of soldiers. In a single moment, Ben Matthews is no longer a teacher, no longer a husband, no longer a father on his way home. He is a prisoner, a pawn in a game much larger than his own life. A blindfold is pulled from Ben's face. The world he sees now is no longer the airport. It is a dimly lit room, its walls stained with time, guarded by men with rifles. A voice breaks the silence, calm yet sinister. "Welcome, Mr. Matthews. You are not a prisoner. You are our guest of honor." Ben blinks, disoriented. "Guest? There must be a mistake. I've done nothing wrong." The man steps forward, his uniform immaculate, his eyes sharp as knives. He introduces himself as Dalal, a powerful figure within the regime. He speaks slowly with chilling certainty. "There are no mistakes. We know exactly who you are. More importantly, we know who your brother is." Confusion turns to fear. "My brother? Douglas? What does he have to do with this?" Dalal's lips curl into a smile. "Douglas left quite an impression in his last visit to Iraq. Very special, your brother. And because of him, you are special too." Ben's heart pounds. He realizes he is not here for anything he has done, but for the shadow of Douglas. He is bait, a living chain meant to pull his brother back into a land of fire and vengeance. Dalal leans closer, his words venomous. "You will remain here, under my hospitality. Your brother will come for you, and when he does, both of you will belong to me." Ben's body trembles. He knows then. He is no longer a man in the wrong place at the wrong time. He is a hostage tied to destiny, caught in a storm his brother once tried to escape. Far from Baghdad, in the quiet of an American hospital room, Douglas Matthews is still recovering from an old battlefield wound. The scar on his leg burns like a reminder of the past he tried to leave behind. The door opens. A trusted friend from the Pentagon enters, face pale, voice low. "Douglas, it's Ben. He's been taken." Douglas freezes. Taken? By who? The man hesitates. Iraq. Baghdad airport. He's a hostage now. The room falls silent. The sound of the clock ticking feels like a war drum in Douglas's ears. His fists tighten, his jaw clenches. Memories of that cursed land flood back. The smoke, the screams, the betrayals. They'll kill him, Douglas mutters, rage boiling beneath his calm voice. He's diabetic. Without medicine, without care. They'll let him die. His friend shakes his head. There's nothing we can do. Officially, our hands are tied. Douglas, stay out of it. Iraq has already marked you as persona non grata. If you set foot there again, it'll be a death sentence. Douglas stares at the floor, the weight of his brother's life pressing on his chest. Then he looks up, eyes burning with unshakable resolve. If he's in danger, I don't care what it takes. I'm going back. Persona non grata or not, he's my brother, and I'll bring him home. In that moment, the mission is set, not by orders, not by governments, but by blood. The desert night is silent, broken only by the hum of an old truck bouncing over dirt roads. Douglas sits in the back, hidden beneath a worn blanket, his eyes fixed on the horizon. Every mile he crosses is a step deeper into enemy territory. The driver, a smuggler with eyes that never stop scanning the darkness, whispers, "Americans pay high price for this ride. But you are not here for money, are you?" Douglas doesn't answer. Instead, he grips the small bag at his side. Forged documents, a pistol and a vial of insulin. His brother's lifeline. The truck stops near a cluster of rocks. The driver leans closer. "This is as far as I go. Beyond here, the border is hungry. It swallows men whole." Douglas steps out into the sand. The air is thick with silence, heavy with danger. He pulls a scarf over his face and begins to walk. Suddenly, the night explodes with voices. Iraqi border patrol. Flashlights cut through the darkness. Dogs bark. Douglas dives into the shadows, heart pounding like a war drum. He waits, still as stone, until the soldiers pass. Then he moves again, faster, driven by one thought. Ben doesn't have time. Every second wasted brings him closer to death. As dawn rises over the desert, Douglas finally crosses into Iraq. He is alone, hunted, and marked for death. But he is inside. The mission has begun. The refugee camp is a sea of misery, tents sagging under the weight of dust, children crying with hollow eyes, mothers clinging to scraps of hope. Douglas moves carefully among them, searching for a contact who can lead him closer to Ben. And then, like a ghost from another life, he sees her. Layla. Her dark hair is covered with a scarf, her hands busy handing out medicine, but her eyes, the same eyes he once loved, freeze when they meet his. For a moment, time stops. The noise of the camp fades into silence. "Douglas," she whispers, disbelief trembling in her voice. He approaches slowly, pain and longing tangled in his expression. "I never thought I'd see you again." She glances around nervously, pulling him into the shadows of a tent. Her voice is sharp, almost angry. "You shouldn't be here. If Dalal finds out—" Douglas interrupts. "Dalal, he's the one holding my brother, isn't he?" Her silence is confirmation enough. Her hands tremble as she adjusts her scarf, trying to hide the fear in her face. "Layla, why? How did you end up with him?" Her eyes darken, tears threatening to fall. "Because I had no choice. Marrying him was the only way to survive. The only way to keep you alive back then." Douglas steps closer, his voice breaking. "And now?" Her lips part, but no words come. The silence between them speaks louder than anything. A love buried, but never dead, burning beneath the ashes of war. For Douglas, the mission is no longer just about saving his brother. It has become personal. A battle against a man who stole not only his family's freedom, but also the woman he once called his own. Inside a dim tent, with only the flicker of a lantern between them, Layla's defenses begin to crumble. Her voice is low, her words heavy with secrets. "Douglas, you don't understand. Dalal owns everything here. The soldiers, the streets, even the air we breathe. He uses fear as his weapon, And my son as his shield. Douglas stares at her, stunned. Your son? She nods, tears brimming in her eyes. A boy of 4, innocent, yet already a prisoner of his father's world. Dalal controls me through him. One wrong step, one hint of betrayal, and my child pays the price. Douglas's chest tightens. Rage and sorrow mix inside him, but he forces his voice steady. Then Dalal has trapped us both. He holds Ben to draw me back, and he holds you with your son. Layla leans closer, whispering as though the shadows themselves might be listening. You don't know the kind of man he's become. Cruelty is not just his tool, it is his pleasure. He'll make you suffer before he kills you. Douglas clenches his fists, eyes burning with determination. Then let him try. He wants me, he'll have me, but not the way he expects. Layla shakes her head, fear in every movement. You're walking into a web, Douglas. One spun by betrayal, revenge, and blood. No one comes out of it alive. Douglas leans forward, his voice sharp as steel. Then I'll burn the web to the ground. For the first time, Layla sees it in his eyes. Not just the man she once loved, but a warrior reborn. A man ready to face the monster who chained them all. Inside the walls of the American embassy, the air is thick with polished words and diplomatic silence. Douglas sits across from a polished official, his fists pressed against the table. My brother is being held as a hostage. He's diabetic. He could die any moment. You have to do something. The official adjusts his tie, his face carved in stone. Mr. Matthews, our orders are clear. No escalation, no pressure. The priority is maintaining stability with Iraq. We cannot risk provoking an international incident over one man. Douglas slams his hand on the desk, his voice sharp with rage. One man. That's my brother. He's not a bargaining chip, he's not collateral, he's family. The official lowers his gaze. I'm sorry, but our hands are tied. The words slice deeper than any bullet. Douglas rises from his chair, every muscle trembling with fury. You may have tied your hands, but mine are still free. As he storms out of the embassy, he realizes the truth. There will be no rescue team, no government support, no cavalry waiting in the shadows. This mission is his alone. A war not sanctioned by a flag, but by blood and vengeance. In that moment, Douglas crosses an invisible line. He is no longer a soldier bound by duty. He is a brother bound by love. And for that, he will fight an entire nation if he must. The streets of Baghdad twist like a maze filled with shadows, whispers, and eyes that never stop watching. Douglas moves carefully through narrow alleys, blending with the crowd. But every step feels like he's walking deeper into a trap. Suddenly, headlights cut the darkness. Trucks screech to a halt. Armed patrols flood the streets, their boots slamming against the pavement. Shouts echo in Arabic. Find the American. He is here. Douglas darts into an alley, his breath sharp, heart pounding like thunder. Soldiers give chase. The night explodes with gunfire. Bullets tear through walls, sparks fly, children scream. He ducks behind crates, pulling out his pistol. With precise, deadly aim, he fires back. One soldier drops, then another. The alley fills with smoke and fire, but they keep coming. Douglas runs, leaping over rubble, weaving through shadows. The city is alive with sirens, the hunt spreading like wildfire. At the end of the alley, he finds himself cornered, a dead end. The soldiers close in, rifles raised. Douglas grips his weapon, ready for the final stand. Then, out of nowhere, a hidden door creaks open. A hand waves him inside. An Iraqi civilian whispers urgently, "Quick, before they see you!" Douglas slips inside as the door slams shut. Outside, the soldiers storm past, shouting in frustration. Inside, Douglas leans against the wall, drenched in sweat, adrenaline surging through his veins. He knows the truth now. Baghdad is not just a city, it is a battlefield, and every alley is painted in blood. The hidden door opens into a basement lit by a single lantern. Inside, a small group of Iraqis huddle together, men, women, even children. Their faces are weary, but their eyes carry the fire of survival. Douglas looks around, confused. "Why are you helping me? If they find out, you'll be killed." An old man steps forward, his voice heavy with both sorrow and pride. "We don't help you because you are American. We help you because you fight for family. And here, family is all we have left." A young man adds, "Dalal has taken too much from us. Our homes, our fathers, our brothers. He is a tyrant. If you fight him, then you fight for all of us." Douglas feels the weight of their words. For the first time, he sees the bigger picture. This isn't only about rescuing Ben, it's about breaking chains that have bound an entire people. One woman hands him bread, another presses a flask of water into his hands. Their kindness in the middle of hell cuts deeper than any wound. Douglas bows his head. "I came here for my brother, but if standing against Dalal means standing with you, then I am not alone." The room falls silent. Then the old man raises his hand. "Then tonight, you are one of us." In that moment, a bond is forged. The mission is no longer just personal, it is shared. Douglas carries not only his brother's life on his shoulders, but the hope of a nation shackled in chains. Inside a lavish palace guarded by soldiers, Dalal sits at the head of a long table, his uniform spotless, his eyes burning with the cold satisfaction of power. While the city suffers outside, he feasts like a king. Across the room, Layla stands silently, her son clinging to her hand. She tries to shield the boy's eyes, but Dalal waves him closer. "A man must learn young," he says darkly. "A boy should see what strength looks like." He pours himself a glass of wine, speaking with cruel calm. "Your brother will soon join you, Ben. But before that, your suffering will be my entertainment. I will execute you in front of the boy. He will see that mercy does not exist, and he will grow to fear my name." Ben, weak from lack of medicine, raises his voice with what little strength he has. "You're a coward, using a child as a weapon." Dalal smirks. "No, I am a teacher, and fear is the greatest lesson." Layla trembles, her knuckles white as she holds her son tighter. She dares not speak, but her eyes scream with hatred. Dalal notices and leans closer, his voice dripping with venom. "You shine, Layla, only when that American's name is spoken. But soon, that shine will fade. When I break him, when I kill his brother before his eyes, your fire will belong to me alone." The room is heavy with silence, broken only by the sound of the boy's frightened breath. Dalal rules not just with soldiers and guns, but with a grip of iron that crushes every soul around him. And for Douglas, the battle is no longer just about survival. It has become a war against a tyrant who poisons everything he touches. Night falls over Baghdad. In a quiet corner of the refugee camp, Douglas meets Layla again. The moonlight reflects in her eyes, but this time they are filled with both sorrow and longing. She speaks first, her voice trembling. "You think I betrayed you, don't you? That I abandoned you when you left Iraq years ago?" Douglas looks at her, pain etched in his face. "You married him. Dalal, how could you?" Tears spill down her cheeks. "I didn't marry him out of love. I married him because it was the only way to protect you. If I had refused, he would have hunted you down and killed you. So I gave him my freedom, to keep you alive." Douglas's chest tightens. He wants to hate her, but her words strike too deep. "All these years, and you never told me." She shakes her head. "Letters were burned. Every whisper was watched. Dalal's shadow is everywhere. But know this, Douglas, not a single day passed that I didn't think of you." For a moment, silence falls. Their hands almost touch, the years between them collapsing into a heartbeat. Layla leans closer, whispering, "If Dalal discovers you're here, he'll unleash hell on this city to find you. Promise me. Promise me you won't throw your life away." Douglas's voice is steady, but his eyes blaze with fire. "I didn't come here to die, Layla. I came to take my brother back. And if I have to face Dalal to do it, so be it." Layla closes her eyes, torn between fear and the love she never stopped feeling. For a brief instant, the war outside is forgotten, and all that remains is the confession of two souls chained by destiny. The night air is heavy with smoke and the sharp sting of chemicals. Hidden on the outskirts of Baghdad, stands a decrepit factory, outwardly abandoned, but inside it breathes with guarded secrets. Douglas approaches through shadows, guided by whispers from locals who risk their lives to help him. The building looms like a monster, its windows glowing faintly, the hum of machinery vibrating through the walls. Inside, the stench of rust and poison fills the air. Rows of masked guards patrol the corridors. Prisoners, frail, broken, are chained to rusting pipes, their eyes hollow, their bodies trembling from torture and disease. Douglas presses himself against the wall, moving silently through the maze. Every corner could be his last. His pistol feels heavier than ever, not from its weight, but from the burden of the lives depending on it. And then, he hears it. A cough, weak but familiar. He follows the sound until his eyes fall on a dim cell at the far end of the corridor. Inside, barely conscious, lies Ben. His face is pale, sweat clinging to his skin, his body trembling from lack of insulin. Shackled to a pipe, he looks more like a ghost than a man. Douglas grips the bars, whispering desperately, "Ben, it's me. I'm here." Ben opens his eyes, his lips quivering. "Douglas, I knew you'd come." Tears sting Douglas's eyes, but before he can speak, the echo of boots fills the hall. Guards are coming. The factory is no longer just a prison, it is a battlefield waiting to erupt. And Douglas knows that the fight to save his brother has only just begun. The hallway erupts with gunfire. Bullets spark against the metal walls as Douglas dives for cover. He returns fire, his shots precise, each one fueled by desperation. Guards fall, but more come rushing in, their shouts echoing through the factory. Douglas smashes the lock on Ben's chains with the butt of his pistol. The metal snaps. He grabs his brother, pulling him to his feet. "Come on, Ben. We don't have time." Ben stumbles, weak from days of captivity, his body trembling. Douglas supports his weight, practically carrying him. "You shouldn't have come," Ben mutters, his voice faint. Douglas looks him in the eyes, fire blazing within. "You're my brother. I'd walk through hell to bring you home." The brothers move together, step by step, as chaos rains down around them. Guards flood the corridors, grenades explode, filling the air with smoke and fire. Douglas shoves Ben behind cover, turning into the storm. His gun blazes until it clicks empty. Then he grabs a fallen soldier's rifle, unleashing fury. Blood splatters, screams fill the air. For the first time, Ben lifts a weapon from the ground, shaky but determined. He fires at a guard who almost strikes Douglas from behind. His hands tremble, but his eyes hold steady. The two brothers fight side by side, their bond stronger than the bullets flying past them. One weakened by chains, the other scarred by war. Yet together they carve a path through fire and death. When the smoke clears, they stand, backs against each other, surrounded by fallen enemies. Douglas looks at Ben with fierce pride. "See, we're not done yet." But deep inside, both know this is only the beginning, because somewhere in the shadows of the city, Dalal is waiting. The night is heavy with silence as Douglas and Ben make their way out of the ruined factory. But before freedom can touch their skin, the ground trembles with the roar of engines. Trucks surround them, headlights blinding in the dark. From the shadows steps Dalal. His uniform gleams, his face carved with arrogance, a cruel smile curling across his lips. Soldiers fan out behind him, rifles raised. "Douglas Matthews," he says, his voice cold and venomous. "I told Layla you would come, and now, here you are, walking into my hands, just as I planned." Douglas pushes Ben behind him, his stance unyielding. "You used my brother as bait, you used a child as a pawn, tonight it ends." Dalal laughs, a sound as sharp as broken glass. "Ends? No. Tonight is only the beginning. You will watch your brother die, and then you will beg me for death." He steps forward, drawing a blade, curved, wicked, glinting under the headlights. Soldiers close in, but Dalal raises his hand, stopping them. "No, he is mine." The two men circle each other. Douglas, scarred by war, driven by love. Dalal, drunk with power, fueled by hatred. The clash is brutal. Fists, knives, blood on the dirt. Each strike carries years of rage, betrayal, and vengeance. Ben, weak but determined, watches, whispering prayers into the night. The soldiers shout, restless, but none dare interfere. At last, Douglas disarms Dalal, driving him to his knees. The tyrant gasps, his pride bleeding away with every breath. Douglas raises the blade, his voice steady and cold. "This is for my brother. This is for every soul you broke." The strike is swift. Silence falls. Dalal collapses, lifeless in the dust. Douglas staggers back, breathing heavy, his eyes burning with both fury and relief. He turns to Ben, pulling him into his arms. "It's over. You're safe now." But as they walk into the night, guided only by the dim light of dawn, both brothers know the truth. The scars of this war will never fade. They survived, but part of them will forever remain on the deadly soil of Iraq. The desert wind carries the brothers away from the ruins of Baghdad, their silhouettes fading into the rising dawn. They are alive, scarred, broken, but alive. Douglas risked everything. He crossed forbidden borders, faced armies alone, and fought a tyrant with nothing but his will and his love for family. Ben, though weakened, stood tall beside him. Together they proved that blood is stronger than fear, stronger than chains, stronger than war itself. But the price of survival is heavy. Behind them lies a land still in darkness, a people still in chains, and memories that will haunt them forever. Their story is not just about vengeance, it is about sacrifice, courage, and the unbreakable bond between brothers. And now, I turn to you. If this story gripped your heart, if you felt the tension, the pain, and the triumph, make sure you've already liked this video, shared it with someone who loves powerful stories, and subscribed to our channel. Because here, every story is more than just action. It's about the battles we fight, the love we protect, and the lives we risk everything to save. Until the next story, stay strong, stay faithful, and never forget. Sometimes, the deadliest missions are born out of love.